morning a media roundtable discussion entitled Bridging HPV and Cancer, Why It Matters. Among the many things that matter, this is something that's very important as well. Okay, I'm Ina Crisaldo, I'm medical advisor for MSD in the Philippines. We have with us today two very renowned speakers. The first, by order of height, is Dr. Francisco Javier Bosch Jose. He's with the Catalan Institute of Oncology from Barcelona, Spain, where he is senior consultant to the Cancer Epidemiology Research Program. So Dr. Bosch is very deeply involved in research, particularly with HPV, aside from other viral matters. Our second panelist for today is Dr. Sybil Lizan R. Bravo. She's an obstetrician gynecologist with specialization in infectious diseases from the University of the Philippines College of Medicine and the Philippine General Hospital. Dr. Bravo's involvements are mainly with, of course, OBGYN diseases, and she's also with the Philippine Infectious Disease Society for Obstetrics and Gynecology as a public relations officer. So, why does it matter? Why is HPV important? Okay, so in the past years, HPV has been gaining prominence because we have found out that HPV causes cancer, particularly cervical cancer. So Dr. Bosch and Dr. Bravo will enlighten us today about why it matters, what is new in the field of HPV and its prevention. There will just be a short presentation by Dr. Bosch, and then we open the floor to questions. So, Dr. Bosch.
Good morning to you, and thank you for attending this seminar. I will try to summarize in a few slides what we now understand is the essential of the viral infection and the cancer causation of those human papillomavirus. So let me introduce to you the virus. It's a very small DNA virus. It has a surface that looks like little rosettes. And in those rosettes, we have proteins that are very much antigen-prone. So these are being used today to create vaccines to prevent the infection. So perhaps for the second time in our lifetime, or in the history of medicine, we have the possibility to prevent cancer by vaccinating young persons. This is of paramount importance, and it's something that you have to stress in your communication with the audiences over and over again. So the virus spreads via sexual intercourse. The majority of the infections occur this way. And as such, the incidence of the infection and the incidence of the disease is very much related to the way that individuals interact. When they start sexual activity, how many sexual partners do they have, how often do they change sexual partners, that sort of environment. And we are now living in a global village. And it so happened that even in the most conservative population, and in Asia, some of the sub-regions of the continent, they do have relatively low incidence of the disease because of their condition. But nowadays, you can see that planes are everywhere, they land everywhere, the populations move a lot. And just consider that in each one of these planes, 10% of the travelers are carriers of HPV. They don't know. They don't have any symptoms. Hello? I thought it was a question. So the dissemination of the viral infection is extremely important. We consider today any person engaging in sexual behavior, no matter how he or she does it, will encounter the virus once in their lifetime. 80% of the population at a given point in time are HPV positive. And the majority of those infections pass unnoticed for the woman or for the man, and therefore they don't seek diagnostic and treatment, and therefore they transmit it to their sexual partners unknown. That's the essence of the viral situation. It reminds a little bit what we experienced with the early age of the AIDS virus. At the beginning, it was a very old disease in the homosexuals in San Francisco. And after a short while, we discovered that we had all our renal transplant patients infected worldwide, that our dialysis patients were infected as well, that the blood needs to be screened for a virus, and it became a completely different story. Right? So we are now in the early ages of that one. This is a graph that shows in a group of 573 students in a school in the United States, they were interviewed at the end of the year as to their romantic activities during the year. Right? So each gray is a male, each blue is a female, and the line represents an opportunity for sexual exchange. And this is the sort of pattern that we can define in our young generations today. I mean, you have this enormous amount of contacts here. So if you imagine that you put a virus in one of the corners at the beginning of the year, the school year, by mid-year, almost everyone has seen the virus, right? So for the control of a viral infection, it is essential to protect the individual, in this case by vaccination. But if you vaccinate any one of these individuals here, you interrupt transmission. So if you vaccinate this female here, all of these contacts here, they gain a little bit of protection. Not as much as if they are vaccinated themselves, but as long as their sexual behavior stays within that format, that particular vaccination here protects them from the viral arrival. So, and because sexual behavior is so common, this is the world map in relation to the prevalence of the infection. Prevalence means that you test individuals at random, how many of those are HPV positive, right? So in certain parts of the world, like the Caribbean, Eastern Africa, or Eastern Europe, 1 every 3 or 1 every 4 individuals, otherwise completely normal, are carriers of the virus. This is the plan, right? This is why it is so common that the infection gets disseminated. And the countries in Asia are here in yellow, and you can see that there is a wide variability. So in some parts of Southern Asia, the average contamination rate is higher than the world average, but in others it's very low. And that's the countries in the Middle East and in the Gulf region. Right? And even then, they have the largest airports in the world. So contamination there occurs, and prevention needs to occur before the widespread of the infection occurs, which will inevitably happen. So some of those infections, they can go wrong. I said before that most of them will clear spontaneously, but some people cannot do that. And we don't know who they are and why they cannot. But once they get infected, they cannot get rid of the infection. And if you cannot get rid of the infection, over time, the constant viral replication might alter the division mechanisms of the cell, turn out to be neoplastic cells, and generate the cancer. How many times does that happen? Well, we estimate that over 600,000 cancer cases in the world occurring every year due to HPV infection. And that includes cancer of the penis, cancer of the vulva and the vagina, oropharyngeal cancer, mostly in men for the time being, anal cancer in males and females, cervical cancer, which is clearly the dominant one in the entire scenario. And then we have this huge amount of genital warts. Genital warts are not cancers, but they are also caused by certain strains of human papillomavirus. Right? which we can also address in our vaccines. So genital warts might not kill you, but they really destroy couples. They are quite cumbersome to treat. They often recur, and in certain patients, they have to undergo several surgical procedures. So half of the cases will die as a consequence of the cancer. We estimate that 250,000 deaths per year just to cervical cancer, not to account for the rest of it. So that amount is about the same thing as if you had one of these gigantic airports crashing at that frequency, 36 every month, so slightly over 1 per day. This is enormous. And it is even more enormous if we realize that today we can avoid most of those deaths. The prediction is that it will get worse. And this is the estimate for the Philippines, in which you have 6,600 cases of cervical cancer per year nowadays. But the Philippines, as many other countries in the world, they are increasing their life expectancy. Women are living longer, therefore you have a higher number of women in the age group where cervical cancer is more visible. So just because of that, if everything else in medical care remains constant, by the year 2035, you will have increased that number by close to 5,000 additional cases. So prevention is something that is essential to start as soon as possible. Because we already have high rates, they're getting worse. The sexual behavior of your populations and the viral circulation is increasing. And this is what you can predict it will occur in the absence of anything else. So we now have 3 vaccines in the licensed component of the market. They all address the 2 most important HPV types that cause cancer. And we name them by numbers. And the 16 and 18 are the real bad in the family. So these 2 vaccines, they also have 6 and 11. So they protect against genital warts. And that one that is known as the, let's say, 2nd generation vaccine, we've been using these 2 for the last 10 years. We are now beginning to use this one here, which in addition of these 4 types, they have 5 additional HPV types. The idea behind that new vaccine is that we would be wider in the protection against cervical cancer, which is caused by at the most 10 types of HPV. So of the 10 types, 7 high-risk types are included in the vaccine. And the vaccines are phenomenally weak. They are probably the best vaccines ever made. And we know by experience that we eradicated smallpox and almost eradicated polio. So we are at that level. So for the types included in the vaccine, right, so 16 and 18, which are responsible for close to 70% of cervical cancer in the world, the protection is essentially 100% for the 3 vaccines. Right. And for the rest of the types included in the vaccine, including the low-based types 6 and 11, the protection is greater than 90%. In biology, that is everything. You should not expect 100% at every single trial you run, but if you consistently get results at that range, 90 to 100%, it means that in the presence of vaccination, the infection does not occur. And this has been demonstrated already over and over again. If you vaccinate males, you get also excellent results against genital warts or against anal cancer in populations that are called ambisexuals, men that have sex with men. That's the homosexual population. Right? And And this is why in many countries the programs are now including males in their vaccination schemes that started vaccinating females. You might have heard some noise about the safety of those vaccines. That can be the subject for an entire day of discussions. I'm just putting you that slide here, which is the summary of the evaluations made by the two groups which are independently advising WHO in relation to the safety of the vaccines. These groups, they examine every single claim anywhere in the world that has a suspicion that the vaccine has a side effect. They have produced 7 reports and 1 report on the adjuvants. And the 7 reports are available in the website, and they have examined everything that anywhere in the world has been claimed to be linked to vaccination. The conclusion is that the vaccines are extremely safe, and the program should be encouraged and disseminated and made available to all populations in the world. So, the summary of this brief introduction is that we clearly know that we have a problem. The problem is that we are losing one Airbus 380, 800 every day, full of young women. Right. This is a problem. The good news is that we have a solution. The solution is that we have vaccines that can prevent 9 out of 10 of those cases. And we have diagnostic tests that can be used for screening. And again, they would identify and prevent disease in 9.5 out of 10 cases if we treat them properly. And these two activities, vaccination and screening, are generally safe. So we have the solution. What do we have to do? We have to intervene now. We have to start now to prevent things getting worse. And what is the reward? The reward is that if we do it properly, we can anticipate for the generation like this lady. Is it the lady? The generation of this lady might indeed be free of cervical cancer. And I thank you very much.
Capsule view of what the global perspective, a little about the Philippine perspective. Maybe just as an introduction, Dr. Bravo, you can share, before we open the floor for questions, you can share with us what the local scenario of the burden of HPV disease is, and what vaccination has done already since its inception in 2006.
Well, from my own experience since graduating from residency, at the time we were only seeing quite a few number of these cases, women with genital warts and of course associated cancers. But now, in the past 10 years, there's been a sudden increase in numbers of these women afflicted with warts and cervical cancers. So previously, we were seeing around 1 or 2 cases of cervical cancer in our institution per day. No? But now, as we look into our statistics from our Cancer Institute from Philippine General Hospital, the most number of cervical cancer, newly diagnosed cases of cervical cancer, was around 17 to 20 per week. So you would imagine the sudden increase in the past 10 years. And in the, I guess some of you are aware of the YAP study that was released in 2013. This study looked into the behaviors of our young generation, specifically sexual behaviors. The age of first contact, sexual contact, has been getting to be younger and younger, and our teenage pregnancy rate has also been increasing. And so, with the numbers of young women and males getting sexually transmitted diseases, including genital warts, and again, from our own statistics, we have been seeing young women with cervical cancer. So our youngest patient with cervical cancer is 16 years old. So you would imagine what age she had her first sexual contact and she was exposed to human papillomavirus. the causative agent of cervical cancer. So this is really our own experience in our local setting. But of course, with vaccination and all other preventive strategies like, of course, our continuous info dissemination among the lay and among our colleagues. So essentially, we're promoting vaccination. We're teaching our women and males alike about behavior modification, and we are trying to increase our screening for STDs, including WARS and, of course, cervical cancer. So all in all, well, we are making now a little dent, no, an impact in, well, decreasing rates of STIs and hopefully in the future for cervical cancer.
And as the poster, you notice that we have posters at the back on HPV-free future, because that's our dream. We're probably dreaming big, but it's not a dream that's impossible. And also, just in case you have posts or pictures, images to upload later on, please use the hashtag HPV-free-PH so that we strengthen the advocacy. And so I'd like to open the floor for questions. Please introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself.